Hello everybody, my name is Daniel and today we're going to be talking about the Big Bang. No, not this one, but that one. Let's get started. Okay, so before we start talking about the evidence for the Big Bang, let's start about where it first began. In 1927, a Belgian Catholic priest called George Latimer struck on the idea, but it was not until 1984 when R. Gamow popularized it on television and gave it its current name, the Big Bang. Okay, now we know where it came from, let's talk about the theory itself. The theory states that 20 billion years ago, there was nothing. Nothingness. There was no time, no energy, no matter, nothing. And then nothingness compacted into a tiny dot. It started spinning, and eventually exploded. It created neutrons, protons, and electrons, and it sent them flying throughout the vastness of empty space. And eventually, those particles started circling each other, which created gases. And the gases created the stars, and the stars grouped together into bunches today we call galaxies. Now, it all sounds good in an animation, but is it really logical? Let's talk about the evidence used for the Big Bang. First, nothingness cannot pack together. The nothingness, what would contain the nothingness? There is no container to contain it because nothingness is nothing. And if you have nothing to contain it, well, I'm sorry, I got confused myself. There could be no ignition because how did it explode? It couldn't be a chemical explosion because there are no chemicals. And it couldn't be a nuclear explosion because there are no neutrons yet. So it couldn't explode. There's no flame, no match, no heat. Because where is there heat in the vastness of cold space? Another problem, nothingness cannot change into matter. Nothing cannot produce something. Nothing is nothing. It's not even a thing. It's just nothing. Another problem is antimatter. If the Big Bang happened, all the matter would have to be evenly distributed. But as today we see, it's not evenly distributed. It's all clumped together in groups called galaxies, which is separated by millions and millions and millions of miles of open space. The only hope for evolutionists is antimatter. They say that, oh, we just can't see it, it's dark matter. It fills in the gaps. Well, see, you have to believe that. So don't call it science, and don't put it in the textbooks. Put it in your own private schools. Another problem is it would have destroyed all the matter, because it's been scientifically proven that when antimatter comes in contact with normal matter, it destroys it. So it cannot coexist. The particles, they would have no way of starting to circle each other. Because think about it. Every second that those particles are flying into space, they're getting farther away from each other, which makes it harder for them to start circling each other. They would maintain the same vector forever. Nothing could slow them down in the vastness of outer space except by external force. And finally, there's the conservation of angular momentum. Let's just say that the dot was spinning clockwise. Okay, it spun, it blew up. Now everything that came from the explosion had to start spinning clockwise. Okay. But why do 3 of the 8 planets in our solar system spin backwards? Why do even some entire galaxies spin backwards? I have a theory about that. I think God did it on purpose to make the evolution theory look stupid. That's my theory. And finally, we have background radiation. What is background radiation? Well, it was discovered back in 1965, and it was said to be radiation, heat radiating from space at a temperature of 2.73 degrees Kelvin. There's this one, it was said to be the best and single most best evidence for a Big Bang. But you got one tiny problem with that. It's omnidirectional. It's coming from many sources. If a Big Bang occurred, then it would have to be coming from one source. But it's not. It's omnidirectional. So I don't know how people can believe, especially scientists, educated people, can believe that a Big Bang occurred when there are simple, easy scientific facts that just tear the Big Bang theory to shreds. Thank you. This has been the Big Bang clearly explained.